Hello, friends. I took a couple days off from videos because it seemed right, and also seemed right to make a video today. So we're gonna just set up the healing field first, and as we do that, you might want to state out loud, I connect to my deep self, connect to my higher self, connect to my highest self. I ground myself into the healing center of the earth. I open myself to the healing power of the One. I let go of anything not useful to me now. And if you choose to work with the seventh dimensional beings, the Hathors, you can state, I choose to work with the Hathors. Now, I ask that we all be placed in a field of protection while we do this work, and ask the higher self to take us through the portal of time to the event that would be of the highest good to release and integrate at this time. And I invite all souls to return to the event to release and integrate the energy of the event for themselves, and ask that they be placed in a field of protection while they do their work. Upon arrival at the event, I ask the higher self to assist us to release and integrate all energies of the event, gently and easily, fully and completely, on all levels and through all space and time. So those of you who come just for the healing event, then you can hit the pause button, come back when you feel like you've released and integrated the energies of the event, and come back for the closing and the new energies coming in, which is, to me, the best part, because the early part of the healing event is like, letting this go, letting this go, letting this go, letting this go, integrating this, feeling this release, all that stuff. And then at the end, all these beautiful energies come into the earth as a result of us having cleared the field for them to come in and come in clearly. So I was texting this morning with a friend about our nights last night, and just what a difficult night in the dream world it was. Difficult and good. So I'm getting a different perspective on what I would call challenges that seem to be arising more and more of late. So I did the 5-month Thomas Hubel Ancestral Healing Code course that completed a few weeks back. Early April was the last of the course downloads. But I've been going back through it again and doing the course over because it's on a site that I have access to for a period of time. So I'm going back and going through it again because there's just so much ancestral work to be done, because we can at this time not only clear our own stuff from this and past lives, but we can also, because we carry the codes of our ancestors, we can also actually resolve events for them should we choose to. But we're resolving them for ourselves, and they're getting the benefit of it as well as we get the benefit of it. So it just makes sense to me to just keep just going on this cleansing process. I have to admit, I felt some disappointment when the 28-year cycle of cleansing came to a completion on March 24th. And I felt like on the 23rd and the 24th, things felt a lot different. And on the 25th, the day to initiate this next 13,000 year cycle, I thought, oh, this doesn't feel different. This doesn't feel better. And I felt disappointment in that. And I'm feeling less and less of that disappointment because I know I make things up in my head, and then when they don't take place in reality, I get disappointed because I'm making up things that'd be really good. Like, oh, March 25th comes along and everything is beautiful in its own way. And then I didn't have that experience, and I'm like, well, why wasn't I able to manifest that? Okay, so I am going back through the course with Thomas Hubel, and he was saying something in the course, something like this, that when you initiate something like a healing course over time where you're learning practices and processes that enable you to heal things possibly more rapidly, you're also becoming more aware in the process. And as you become more aware, you're more aware of more stuff. Good news and bad news. But as we become more aware and we become more able to gain a bit of perspective by becoming, in the process, what you could call the observer, the witness, the mature self, the deep self, the self that is not the trauma, the self that experienced the trauma and held on to it. That's why it's a trauma, because it's still held on to. That self is occasionally triggered. Somebody looks at them the wrong way or says something to them that fires them off. And all that intense emotions comes to the surface. And then the mind explains why this other person is horrible or whatever the mind makes up about the other person. But as one practices becoming more of the witness, the observer of healing, the aware one, the deep self, when one begins to be aware that they are that I am, then one, and it may be slowly, but one begins to get a perspective on their own history. And we all have very long histories. And we have ancestral codes of their very long histories. And more than likely, our genetics go back, 10, 12,000 years or longer. Who knows? I mean, they'd have to almost go back to the beginning unless somebody just dropped some new genetics into the pool and then your ancestors came along. But the feel good in my consciousness for today is I'm beginning to have a recognition as I experience more things from this observer position. And in the clear observer position, you feel compassion and curiosity. So if it's your own stuff, you feel compassion for that part of you that experienced and held that trauma. And you feel curiosity about it, like why it's still being held, 70 years later. Or is this the day it would be good to let it go? Well, if it is a good day to let it go, it's of the 13 tones, it's tone 2, which is the lunar tone. And it's about polarizing, stabilizing, and challenge. And so as we become more awake, more aware, more observant, we experience more of the unresolved stuff that's held in various places within the nervous system. And those things can come to the surface. And when we get to a place where we are, oh, good, where we're in that compassionate, creative, curious place that can feel something going on in the body and feel the tightness of it and feel it trying to free itself up. And we support that part of ourselves that is holding it. And we encourage that part, if it's the right time for that part, to let it go. Healing appears to me to become much easier. I always ask that it be gentle and easy. It doesn't always seem that way to me, but I ask that our healing be gentle and easy. But whatever it is, my interest is healing. My interest is letting go, releasing, digesting, releasing, integrating, and releasing these past events. Just let the energies move, feel the feelings, let the feelings keep moving, let the expansion keep happening, and then feel like, oh, okay, I completed another piece of this puzzle process. So lunar is tone 2, and that comes out of the 1. The 1 becomes 2. And there's some words at the top of the page in the lunar tone that all antagonisms are complementary. It's just an interesting perspective. All antagonisms are complementary. Opposing forces work together, counterbalancing each other in a field of stability. Black and white, right, night and day, good and evil, work and play. The yin and yang, the beauty of relationships represents the essential dance of two. Everything defines and is defined by its polar opposite. We're described and highlighted by what we are not. It is said, if the valley filled up, the mountains would disappear. Tone 2 helps us to see that it is light which creates shadow, that winter and summer are but two products of one force experienced from contrasting positions. Night and day are faces of the one earth as it revolves. Polarized states we encounter in daily life can serve as extremes which challenge us. The moon, keeper of lunar lunacy, reminds us that as we can only see one side of her at a time, so too might we be restricted to only one side of a perceived equation. If we overlook the inherent unity that opposing forces are born of, polarity is experienced as duality. Duality, the destructive illusion of separation, denies that counterbalances exist to serve each other. Challenges that appear as hardships or struggle, when seen from another perspective, can bear the blessings of opportunity. Tone 2 encourages to stabilize challenge by receiving opposition. Receiving opposition as a catalyst to generate holistic awareness. Embrace challenges as stimulating soul growth. So today's solar tone, or today's kin, the 20 kin, is yellow star. And yellow is about the south, it's about ripening, and it's related to the solar plexus. It's about beautifying, elegance, and art. And so someone named Meshu Suma said, "May we develop our awareness of the countless beautiful things in everyday life. For every phase of beauty contributes to the expansion of spiritual upliftment and understanding." Yellow star is an agent of harmony, keeper of the octave, a way shower, a star seed, a messenger declaring art as creator's omnipresent gift. Art is how we greet the day, how we respond and interact to the elements in our lives. As a dimension of being and acting, art exists as a universal opportunity for creativity, innovation, and expression, each of us adding to the blank canvas of the moment. Art bears the language of the soul, transparently revealing our divine essence. Art, like the realm of beauty, is naturally occurring, enhanced with intention, is unlimited in its appearances and manifestations, transcends definition, and is measurable by feelings and insight it provokes. In essence, art, beauty, and elegance are vibrational emanations produced by beneficial combinations, emerging from mindful synthesis. Yellow star transmits delight in the beauty of your expression. Explore your creative tendencies. Allow the aesthetics of nature to inspire your inner artistic sight and sense. Wield the radiance of the star and light up your outer world from within. Allow grace and harmony to guide your path. Nothing you do is outside the art of your life. And then from Chamalu, he or she said, "When we contemplate life through the eyes of purity, everywhere we look, we see beauty." So the last part of this Mayan calendar reading, I'm going to just give you a little update on what's coming up next. This is Monday. On a week ago Sunday, we had a galactic activation portal, so new energies coming in, activating our DNA potential. And we also had the first of the 13 auspicious days of Paco Votan, the prophet of the Mayan people from 603 to 683. There are 13 of these days, and the first one was Sunday the 13th. And it was a yellow resonant sun, so start kind of a new cycle, and galactic activation, and an auspicious day of Paco Votan. And then the following Saturday was the second auspicious day of Paco Votan. And this Wednesday is the third auspicious day. So in a 260-day cycle, there's only 13 of these auspicious days, which are in the spiral of things, are days in which we're coming back to an experience that maybe we didn't handle well, and we can clear that and get more flow into it. So we can handle things differently. We can shift and change, especially on those 13 auspicious days. Okay. We have a new moon coming up on the 27th of April, and then the last day of the 10th lunar month. There are 13 months in that year. And the last day of the 10th month is Thursday, May 1st. And then we're going into the spectral moon of liberation. And in that spectral moon of liberation, in that month, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 of the auspicious days of Pakavotan. So there were 3 this month, there's 4, that's 7. And in the next month, there are there's just one more the next month. And then on the 13th month, there's like 1, 2, 3. There's the 9th auspicious day, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 galactic activation portals, and that will be beginning July 8th and going through July 17th. So it's July will be a very active time. April is, April's been fairly active. May has a lot going on. A lot of these auspicious days of Pakavotan and a number of the galactic activation portals. So May is going to be a powerful month, and we'll continue to do our best. And I'll continue to give you, some updates on the Mayan calendar from time to time. So that's today's update. Today is April 21st, and current time is 11:44 Pacific Standard Time. Okay, that was fairly strong download. All right, so I asked the higher self to assist all the souls that returned to the event to combine with that part of their soul that had remained at the event and bring that combined soul back into their body in present time with all of its wisdom, power, and clarity, compassion, curiosity, and kindness. And with joy and peace, I ask all the souls to ground themselves into the healing center of the earth and open up the portal for the delivery of the new energies into the earth at this time. And I ask that these new energies be brought in and activated. And I let the universe and beyond know that this has been done and that is good. Okay, there is your Mayan calendar reading. There is your healing field for the day. May it serve you well. May you and I lighten up on ourselves. In some ways, give ourselves more space. Because we, as a collective, are doing a lot of transformational work at this time, and it's been more than I can remember in any lifetime. The past 4 or 5 years has been tremendous intensity and purification and change. And now, energetically, the energetics were just going up like this. Now the energetics have kind of leveled somewhat, and so the ride might be smoother, but we're at a point of awakening where we're just aware of this no longer serves us, this no longer serves us. What does serve us? How to be a way in which it serves us well and the community around us. And we'll just keep doing it. And I'll keep encouraging you, and you can encourage me, and we can encourage each other. Because as a collective, we have an opportunity to make tremendous changes. We can make them individually. An individual can make tremendous changes. But it's the tremendous changes of an individual that's also experienced by the collective that is really going to bring this new world more into our awareness, this new world that already exists. And really, where we hold our attention, if we hold our attention on the seeming tower collapsing of the world's tower is going down, and we've gotten that card as a tarot card, that things are collapsing, but out of that collapse comes a new world. Well, that new world exists. And whether we're focused on the collapse or focused on the emergence affects our experience. So those will be the final words of today. And let's see, I did that in only 26 minutes and 27 seconds. So now can go change. Be well, and may this serve you right.